We have some breaking news to deliver. Just in the last 5 minutes, something came up. We already were expecting this, and it's the departure of Martin Österdahl as executive supervisor of the Eurovision Song Contest. We knew that he was going to leave, that this was his last year in the post, and yesterday they announced that Michael Kron will take now his position as executive supervisor.
Yes, Martin has been in the role, well, in different roles around Eurovision for the past 20 years or so. So it has been a long time, and I understand that obviously people need to move on as well. We also realized this year his involvement in the live shows was minimal. He did not say anything anymore, probably because of everything that happened in Malmo and the reaction from the fans. So it was expected, as you say, in any way. And we had confirmation yesterday of the new position, and therefore this was coming as something expected, but still very, very last minute. We were literally sitting here to record as it came up.
Yeah, so probably you are sign up for the mailing list. If not, he's basically saying thanks to everyone involved in the EVU and the Eurovision Song Contest. He's going back to his first year in the Eurovision scene in 2021, because of course we know that the previous year was pandemic, so that was the first time that the Eurovision went live to millions around the world, to quote his words. And also he's mentioning stabilizing the permanent United by Music slogan in the event. And he's saying my involvement with the ESC is now approaching a period of 20 years in total. It has been an honor of my professional life to steer the world's largest music event. Is deeply grateful to entire ESC community, and particular to ESC core team, participating broadcasters, artists, and fans for their passion and support. As much as he was very controversial, because last year, I think we're gonna miss him.
Yeah.
He's been like the face of Eurovision for these years, not this one, but the previous years. We're gonna miss the Good to Go. We missed it this year, basically.
Yes.
But yeah.
Yeah, I think last year, obviously, with the whole controversy about Israel participation and so on, he had to take a lot of flack about it, because at the end of the day, he, like you say, he was the face of the EBU. That doesn't mean it was his decision and his decision alone. But yeah, he had to deal with that, and like you said, it was already missing. We only saw him briefly in the live shows, but he did not speak there. And yeah, I think it's probably a bit difficult to roll back from that. And also, I think there was some controversy at home with there was, I mean, a separate court case about an apartment he had. It was very strange thing, I think completely unrelated, a civil thing, not a criminal thing, just to be clear. But somehow that's where he first mentioned that he was going to step down. So there have been rumors for a while now, but we just got that confirmation.
Yes. So
I
start of
think
the show.
yeah, I think with that in mind, now we can move on to other news. There are more news just coming in this morning. So let's start with welcome to the Eurovision files.
So yeah, there's plenty of news to comment on, actually.
I think we should start with the most recent one, apart from Martin Österdahl's. So, which is that we have another city down from the options to host Eurovision 2026.
Yeah, so Grass is not applying anymore, or not. Yeah,
I think they have decided not to apply at all.
Yeah, basically. Which is narrowing down now the number of cities to
Three of
Vienna, Innsbruck, and
Linz and Wells as a joint application.
yeah. And they were saying that it's gonna be the 8th of August when we're going to find out about the city. Now they're saying mid-August, so I don't think they have a definitive date in mind.
I'm not sure if they just mean mid-August is anywhere between the 2nd of August and the 30th. I think from what I've seen recently, they are also going to announce the date in
Okay.
August. So I don't know if they will take a decision on the 8th, they will announce it, or they might say something mid-August where they just say both the dates and the location.
Well, the sooner the better, actually.
Yeah.
For us, yes.
I
When
think
it's
it gives everyone something to look forward to when you have something concrete,
yeah.
right?
Also, people need to organize themselves. Where are we going? When?
I have to say, recently talking with lots of fans, I realized we are very organized because we start very soon organizing things. A lot of people don't book anything until
Tash.
it's true. But yeah, we're talking about organizing ourselves, but a lot of people will take a little bit longer.
Yeah, but I don't know. Sometimes, like month before Eurovision, everything changes in terms
Uh,
of accommodation, cancellations, and everything can be a mess.
We've done that as well.
Yeah, yeah, we've been there. Well, we know that JJ broke the trophy, so he's joining the list of Eurovision winners whose trophy is broken, hopefully replaced very soon. So now they've already announced that they're working on a new design for the trophy, which I think is very welcomed.
Mhm.
JJ mentioned in the press conference after he won that apparently they reinforced the body of the trophy with some metal thing. Well, it didn't work.
There was, yeah, if you look at it, there was a little like metal ring, but the problem is obviously that metal ring joins the two bits of glass. And I think I mean, I'm not saying it's easy, but it might be relatively easier, just not just to crack it, but to literally split the two sides
Yeah.
through that metal bit. So definitely needs a redesign, although I think somehow I like it now. Like I'm used to it.
I like it too. I've never held it myself. I wish I could. I think it's really heavy, and that's
Close
one
to
of the
it, right?
what?
You've been close to it. This walked past you.
Yes, I want to touch it.
You should have said, I think it's AI. I think it's AI. Can I touch it?
Let me see, as I did with Theo.
With you, yeah.
Maybe it's gonna be lighter. It's quite heavy,
It
so
is
that
definitely.
might be the main problem. They're now working on a new logo, which just scares me a little bit.
That has freaked me out more than anything. I know that if you look at years ago, the heart was different, but now it's so recognizable and it's pretty. The design is really pretty. So I wonder if they're going to change maybe the letters, but they're going to keep the heart. But yeah,
Yeah, the heart has been like that, and I think the letters as well since 2014. And I
yeah.
really hope they don't change the heart because what I'm going to do with this tattoo here. Please don't change the heart shape. You can change like the typography of the letters, but not the
Well, I
heart.
suppose the heart will always be there as a,
A
to
reminder.
yeah, reminder of the last few years and this year in Basel. You got that in Basel, so
Yeah, exactly. I got it in Basel. So
you
a plus.
should probably, if they change if they change the logo, just add Basel down below, just as a reminder, it's for that particular one.
Yeah, and maybe on the other side, I could do the new heart.
Exactly.
So, we also have, well, related to Eurovision, but unrelated in the sense that it's national thing and final. We have new dates for Benidorm Fest. So they're doing it later next year. And that's going to be from the 10th until the 14th of February. Well, Benidorm Fest used to be in January, the end of January. Now it's mid-February.
Yeah, I think it's a bit more aligned to some of the big names coming out. And but when I say big names, I mean more like the countries.
Sanremo.
Well, yeah, Sanremo and some of the Nordic ones tend to come out like end of February, beginning of March as well.
Yeah.
So maybe January felt a little bit too soon.
Mm.
I mean it's not that it's affecting anything because the way Benidorm Fest, the voting system, the audience will not really know what's going on with other countries, but for some countries, depending on how they work things out, it might be a little bit of an advantage as well to see what's trending somehow.
Yeah.
So we know that some countries announce the artists or the songs very early on, and it can be a bit tricky then to figure out if somehow maybe it's a very slow song in the middle of like a bunch of dance bangers and you're like, God, I maybe should have thought something different.
And also we have a new artistic director for Benidorm Fest. We were complaining about him not getting recognition in Spain in the last episode, but now Sergio Jaén has been appointed artistic director. So congratulations.
Amazing.
Yeah, very well deserved.
I think, the Ireland in 2024, Austria obviously in 2025, all the things that he has been involved in that have been incredible, and it's just the right move. It's a way as well to recognize in Spain what he's doing. And but I really hope anyway it doesn't end with Benidorm Fest and he works with other artists next year as well, because I would be really excited to see what he does.
Well, to be honest, if he's working for Benidorm Fest, I wouldn't be surprised if he joins the Spanish delegation and entry next year
Yes,
as artistic director.
yes. But he could help with several. I don't know. I suppose it will depend on what kind of contract he signs. But
Yeah,
this year he helped with Austria and Cyprus.
Finland
Was it?
and Cyprus. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Cyprus, Finland, and Austria.
Yeah. So if there's no exclusivity there, the more the merrier.
Yeah, because it's gonna be amazing. All he does is amazing. So
Exactly, that's what I mean. Like it's not like it's all the same either. They're very different acts. So, I almost want to open his brain and figure out what's going on in his imagination because it's like a lot.
yeah. Well, we've also heard from two people saying, "Oh, I want to participate in Eurovision represent the UK."
Yeah, I don't understand this thing with Yo-Yo Siwa. So now she's saying that she wants to participate for United Kingdom. Last year, she was saying that she was in talks with Poland, and then Poland said, no, we haven't talked to her. So I don't know if it's just wishful thinking or if there's something going on. The other one
Manifest.
is weirder. The other one is weird. I mean, the other one is more exciting, but very weird.
Yeah, Ed Sheeran representing the UK.
Yes.
Could it be?
I suppose, I mean, if he said I'm really up for it, I can imagine the UK would jump at the chance. But it's always been my impression, and this is something that I've thought of since I was genuinely a child, because my mom kept saying that big artists don't want to go to Eurovision because the risk of failure can
Mm.
be tricky. But if Ed Sheeran is like, look, I love Eurovision and I love doing it, and that's what he said, basically, fine.
I think it would be a risky move, but at the same time, I think he will get a lot of votes.
Oh yeah. I mean, obviously, like all the fans voting for him, that would be crazy.
Yeah.
That could turn the tide for the UK finally.
So
But I'm
let's
very, what I like as well is I'm very surprised because a lot of big acts don't like saying that they like Eurovision. It's almost seen like it's uncool.
yeah.
And I am very happy with, seeing that people are sort of understanding the work maybe and the artistry that goes behind that. Ed Sheeran is admitting he likes Eurovision. This year in the jury, one of the juries for the UK was the lead singer of Blossoms, which is a Britpop rock, alternative rock band in the UK. very big, not your type of Eurovision artist by any means, and the fact that he got involved, it's actually quite cool. Because people that would like that band and maybe would say, "Oh, Eurovision is terrible," would be like, okay, this is interesting." So I love that.
Yeah, the fact that he's acknowledging the fact that I love it and I really want
Yeah,
to go, it's great. So we would welcome him. I mean, I would love him to be in the Eurovision stage and to represent the UK.
please, please, it will be so exciting. He should sing Galway Girl, like something like similar to what Gabri Ponte did this year. Let's sing Galway Girl for the UK and bringing all the leprechauns and the shamrocks.
But with a different outcome than San Marino's
Yeah.
this year.
Right, lots of green, like Ireland flags. He's representing the
He
UK.
can even represent Ireland. If he
Yeah,
wants
I
to
mean, he
do
could do anything. He could do anything.
I think any country would welcome him.
Oh, absolutely. You would be crazy not to take Ed Sheeran.
And mentioning San Marino, this links me to the next topic, which is they've been saying that they might withdraw or at least taking a couple of years break
Yeah.
because of the voting system, not because they ended up last in the grand final this year, but because they don't agree how the votes are distributed.
Yeah, it's I think with San Marino it's very tricky as well because their own voting system is difficult.
Different. It's different.
Exactly. They don't have the phone votes. And obviously when people look at the way they vote or the way their votes are given, it comes as well as it's a challenge, and people will be like, why is this happening? Because it basically can change everything without really being a real vote. But for them as well, they're like, it's yeah. I think the problem with San Marino as well is a lot of people forget that they are there. It is a reality.
Yeah.
But I mean, if I were them, I would definitely consider. We talked about it. I think it was one of our features in Instagram and TikTok. You talked about how potentially San Marino was going to get their best results yet, and it wasn't, even though we really expected something big from them this year.
Yeah, especially the song, I think, was great and presented by a global artist. But then again, it didn't deliver for some reason. And they say that it's probably because of how the voting system works. And also, as you mentioned, they don't get a public vote. The way that San Marino public vote works is different. I think someone mentioned, I think it was Adam, did a video actually on how this works
Yes.
and how if their votes were to count as in the public system as the rest of Europe, actually Estonia would have came second because of
Yeah,
how they are distributed.
it was, if you remove the votes from San Marino, which are not real votes, the phone votes are actually like an aggregate of how
Yeah.
other countries around are voting, but not real votes. If you remove the Estonian votes and the Israel votes, the way everything else would have added up, Estonia got 7 from San Marino and Israel got 10. Their difference was 1 point. So if you remove those two, actually Estonia would have been second by 1 point. So that's how it worked. And yeah, it wasn't great, obviously. The fact that when you start looking at it, you are like, this is no one actually voting for this in the way that you say.
Yeah, it doesn't really add up, but there's things to consider. And I hope they're not withdrawing. I hope they're trying to make a case for the voting system to change, as other countries are doing at the same time.
We've talked about this. We would like as many countries participating as possible, but we also talked about how the voting system is really not working. And we've said it before. I think the way this year the voting announcements were leaked, I don't know if my heart can cope with something like that again. Live, I might have to turn off until it's done.
Lock yourself up in the toilet.
Yeah, exactly. Like just be like, no, please. Yeah. It's really more of a case of like, let's discuss, let's work things out differently. If San Marino can't provide audience votes, I think what they could potentially do is figure out a different way, and maybe their votes are announced in between the jury and the public vote or something, and say, San Marino has a different voting system. These are their votes. Let's move on with the rest, and they'll do the other 36 or however many others there are going to be.
Yeah. And we may have someone leaving, but we may have someone returning, which is Slovakia. So as we said, we would love more countries to join. Slovakia, please come back. Why not?
Yeah. As I think, we've heard of different countries talking about this several times, but yeah, Slovakia is the one that has been sounding recently. It would be nice. I can imagine in terms of budget and so on, they probably aren't as restricted as some of the other smaller ones. They're in a good place geographically in terms of voting, like they're in the middle of sort of Central Eastern Europe. So, and also one thing to remember as well is Bratislava is literally 1 hour away from Vienna. I wouldn't be surprised if that had started becoming a thing now, because they are going to be so close to Austria. They are obviously neighbors, but if it took place in Vienna, and we don't know, the capital of Bratislava is 1 hour away.
So that's an alternative accommodation place.
It is. A fun fact, the flights from Ryanair to Vienna are the Bratislava ones, or at least they used to be. So Bratislava was the alternative location, and I think that the airport might have something like Vienna, Bratislava in the name. So yeah, that's
Okay, so we're probably taking a Ryanair flight, actually. So
it could happen. It could happen that you end up flying to Slovakia to go to Vienna. So I think that might be one of the reasons why they're talking about it now.
it totally makes sense. So
yeah, if the festival was in Portugal, maybe it would be different. But when you are literally the neighbor of the country, you probably feel a little bit of FOMO, sorry, there. So yeah.
So they can actually take a bus, and they don't even have to stay
Yeah.
in.
Yeah, it's 1 hour by car, I think. I don't know about trains, and so it might be that the trains take even less time.
We can talk about, because we discussed this in the last episode about Arbor, who
We
represented.
did talk about it, yes. We mentioned it was one of the challenges of this year that we had found out a bit more about his life before, his online life before Eurovision. I think the only thing I would say about that is it seems to be, I'm not saying forgotten, but people seem to have moved on. Arbor and Tina have announced a tour and they are selling out venues, so things are looking good for them. But he's very quiet.
I wanted to bring this up because we said, oh, he should say something, and just shortly after that, there was
Literally the day we said that. Right after.
It was not like a press release, it was something in his Instagram story acknowledging the fact that it was him, that he's a different person now, and he apologizes for everything he has said, which is fair. At least he took that acknowledgement like it was me, and he's apologizing, even though we still don't agree with what he said.
No, of course, but it was, I think the main problem with what had happened and the acknowledgement was finally the fact that he admitted everything was him, because there were some comments on a Reddit account and he initially denied that. He said it wasn't, he said the videos was me or something else, but the Reddit, I don't know which account is that. And then he said, I was ashamed, but it was me. So yeah.
But that's okay. He took
his personal account has been really quiet since that took place. I think it's been like 3 weeks now. But Aborantina, that account is still moving. They are announcing new things, and like I say, they are selling out So yeah, glad that they can move on.
Something that we should mention as well is that yesterday, I think it was yesterday, we got a report of the impact of Eurovision in the city of Basel, which was amazing. I think they got like 60 million francs, which we could say it's also the same as euros. Yeah, so 60 million euros value for the city, which again reflects on how important it is to host Eurovision for a city.
Yes. Going back to what we mentioned at the beginning, Grass has decided not to go ahead. They said they can't raise the 29 million euros that I think would cost them to do it. But I think obviously the impact that the contest can have in the city is a lot bigger. I suppose here the problem is the impact is not on the city itself, but on like the businesses and anyone that is sort of involved in moving the city forward and making sure that things are working during the week. So obviously that impact for Basel was amazing. With Grass, what they're saying is if we can't raise this now, and yeah, in terms of maybe I suppose what taxes and so on, they won't necessarily get it back. But I think the boom is not just the week that you are doing these things, it's moving forward. They have put this city on the map. Basel, I remember when they announced Basel, I thought, oh yeah, great. But I was almost expecting that it was going to be Geneva and that it could maybe be Zurich. We talked about Zurich at the beginning. It was a big city that I knew more. But now I love Basel and I would be very happy to go back. And many people would have seen Basel on TV and the different postcards and so on, and they will want to visit. So it's the impact moving forward that I would love to see, in a year or two, if they could talk about how things have changed.
Yeah, no, that's true. But I would probably say that it will attract more visitors over time.
Absolutely.
Yeah. In this report, they were also mentioning the data of people watching or reaching out for Eurovision, engaged with it. They said 166 million people reach on TV across 37 countries. 33 million unique YouTube viewers pre-event, with another 38 million during Eurovision week, which is amazing.
I was talking about unique people, so it means not repeat visits, not watching the different videos. Unique people, it's unbelievable. But that's why it is the biggest non-sporting event on TV in the world. This is people don't realize, but this is bigger than the Oscars. This is bigger than the Super Bowl. Well, the Super Bowl, sorry, maybe not the Super Bowl because it's a sporting event.
Yeah,
Yes,
apart
massive. It is a massive thing. So
yeah, I've written an article, an academic article the other day, and it was said that this attracts more people than the World Cup.
yeah,
it's data, and people watch it more than the World Cup.
it's also, I mean, maybe they would not say it's a great thing, but the fact that you can jump in and watch some of the songs and then jump off and then come back, and it's actually 3 nights, but let's say the grand final is a 4 or 5 hour event, lots of entertainment. I think the BBC or someone from the BBC talked recently about how it's such a cheap actually night for them in terms of entertainment, considering the kind of audience that they actually get. They said it's a no-brainer for the broadcasters to actually get involved in it and get it, because what they get from the audience in terms of like, the cost that they have to pay, it's incredible. It's such a massive thing.
Yeah. And in terms of music and the repercussion of artists, they mentioned 35 songs enter Apple Music's top 100 in 40 countries, hitting #1 in 13. And also 3 songs enter Spotify's global top 50, which is an amazing experience and an amazing opportunity for Eurovision artists.
Exactly. We're talking about artists that then will be suggested to people that maybe have only listened to one song, and they might end up listening to another one and find out that they love the artist, even if they don't follow Eurovision that much. it's the impact for this artist. We talked about it. It's probably, apart from Ed Sheeran, if he joins, it's going to be the biggest thing they do on their musical live, and it's because of that what impact it will have in their careers moving forward.
Yeah, and even Ed Sheeran, I don't know if he's being watched by 166 million people at the same time.
Yeah, probably not. But if he won Eurovision, I would argue it's definitely the biggest thing he's done. But if he ended up 20th out of 26, he would probably be like, well, let's move on quietly.
Yeah, it wouldn't be an impact.
Exactly. So that's what I mean.
No.
That's what I mean. But I mean, did Sisal expect 5 months ago that there was going to be a hallucination day?
Probably
No,
not.
exactly. So yeah.
So that was the round of news that we got for today before our summer break. And next time we talk, probably we're going to focus on the Second Chance contest and songs that you probably can listen to in our Spotify playlist.
We will get that ready, of course.
Yeah, we're already working on that.
Yes. So
in the meantime, just go to Instagram. We'll be uploading past interviews, past acts from these years, so you won't get bored.
We got some fun stuff that we've been working on coming up, some, little reels to enjoy. So definitely keep an eye on those.
Yes.
So yeah, I think that's all from us. We'll be off for a bit, but definitely back very, very soon on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. In the meantime, make sure that you watch our Instagram, our TikTok. We're also on Facebook. And yeah, we'll see you soon.
Yeah, we'll be back before they announce the city and after.
Absolutely.
Bye.
Remember, you can subscribe to Apple Podcast, Spotify, leave a 5-star review, and check out our Instagram account.